And we are live. Hello, everybody. You've got Willie here along with Paul, Land Investing Pros team, back at it Tuesday night, just per usual. And today we are going to talk about why recurring revenue is so important in your land business or just the business in general.
Yeah.
And before we get into it, we want to mention that we are offering coaching, and we've got a comprehensive course on land investing. If you're interested in getting started in land investing, please go to landinvestingpros.com, find more information about what we have to offer, and watch our free webinar on there. And how's your night going, Paul?
Yeah, everything's good over here. We are doing a lot of deals today. I've been on the phones with real estate agents, title companies, you name it. I've been on the phones. I had to today we even negotiated a property, and I didn't do well in the negotiation, and I said, let me have my boss call you back. And then Willie called back pretending to be my boss, and Willie got the deal done.
So what do you mean pretending?
Haha.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Why don't you talk about some of the deals we've been working on, besides, I guess, maybe that one or some of the other ones?
Yeah, so we've been kind of mixing it up a little bit, and for those that don't know what's up, we brought back the podcast, which is the Fire Your Boss REI podcast, and I'll be talking about this I think later this week. But basically, just because our main business is we lost Willie Goldberg. What happened to you? Anyways, I will continue without him. And so our main business obviously is the terms business. So buy low, sell high, sell it on terms. And what happened? You're back.
I don't know. I can't see anyone on live. Can you see who's on in comments? I can't. I tried to click log in and it busted it.
Yes. So the comments should be showing on the side. So once people say hello, we will talk. Right. But what I was saying is our main business is the terms business, which is buying properties and then having people make monthly payments to us and collecting the recurring income. But there's also other parts of the business. So we also have another wing of our business where we focus strictly on cash sales. That's a whole nother topic that we'll talk about another time. But this deal, for example, it was in Arizona. We sent out an offer for around $45,000, and we needed to get it for $35,000. So I called them and offered $35,000, and it didn't work out very well. And then I said, let me call you back. I need to talk with my boss about this and see if we can make it happen. And then Willie called back and got it done. I don't know if you want to tell them.
Yeah, so I think we sent out a lot of mail in this area, and we didn't really get a lot of good deals. In fact, we haven't gotten any deals.
This deal's not even that good, but
yeah, this deal's not even that good. But we sent out mail, and a lot of the properties were okay. They're in a lot of them were all in the same area, which was a cheaper neighborhood near the city that we were mailing, and so we overpriced the mailer, one, and then two, there's not a lot of willing sellers, at least from this mailer, and so this deal happened to be probably the best property that we've reviewed in the whole mailer, and it wasn't even that. I mean, the comps weren't even that great. Again, we overpriced this mailer, but just given the type of property and that it's so good, it's got utilities right up to it, it's right near homes. And we know it's buildable. It's a perfect cookie cutter lot, and a builder will literally just go buy this and start building, or someone will buy it fast because it's such a good lot. And when you compare it to some of the other deals that we get back, and even if we get other ones at cheaper prices, they're not this type of quality of lot. So I think one thing that we like to do, and going forward is going to be probably a big theme in our investment strategy, is just buy the really good lots, the premium lots that have road access, have utilities, are near homes, and that you can build on right away, because those are going to sell, and those are going to sell fast, especially if they're in a good market. So that's kind of what I have to say about this deal. And yeah.
I mean, we're getting the deal done. We got the deal at 40. So should we just jump into tonight's topic, or do we have more?
Sure. I mean, I can't see any comments because I'm not logged in. So, I mean,
We got
if you
Sharon
comment,
Gordon Smith. Good evening, guys.
good evening, Sharon. So if anyone has any
why don't we talk
questions,
about what Sharon did? If she just about how she decided to take. This is one of our students who decided to take her land investing to the next level. I don't know if you want to just talk about that briefly.
Yeah. So Sharon joined Deal Partnering, and I mean, together, I mean, she came up with a number of different markets that she might thought are good fits, and a lot of them were. But I think working with her, I think hopefully we provide a lot of value because I provide a lot of specific guidance on which markets were good and some of the issues with some other markets. I'm not going to get into the specifics because those are Sharon's markets. She might hit them in the future, but yeah, she joined us and started doing Deal Partnering, and I feel very good in the market that we mailed with the data that we're downloading, and I'm very confident of that. Together, we're going to be successful, and she'll do very well once the mail starts coming back. So she just joined, and we've got a number of different students who are doing Deal Partnering, and we are also launching our accelerator program. We haven't really mentioned this, and we've had a couple people sign up, a few people sign up for it, and what that is for those who are looking for a little bit more guidance, a little bit more hand-holding. And so if you're looking for more individualized coaching that's not crazy overpriced, you can certainly reach out to me, Willie, Willie, at landinvestingpros.com. I think we have a better offer than what else is out there on the market. Just given, I mean, I know where the market is in terms of pricing, and we're coming at well below that, and I think we're providing a ton of value. So if you're interested in more individualized, you can email me, Willie, Willie, at landinvestingpros.com. So a little pitch in the middle of this.
It's okay. People need to, there's people that want to take it to the next level, and those that are, they're seeing success. And even us, Willie and I, and I'm planning on posting about this on Facebook, but we recently invested a lot of money into a mastermind group.
I mean, we invest a lot of money in a lot of different consulting. It's not just the mastermind group. We talk to, our days are consisted of talking to people who are smarter than us in different areas of business growth and business management. And I mean, that's why I think we do really, really well, is because we invest in talking to people, paying people, and just learning different perspectives. And so, I mean, it's not something that it will be something that we will continue to invest in. I'd say on an ongoing basis, we're spending thousands of dollars a month on consulting, and it's a common theme that I don't think will ever change in our business and our career. I mean, if you want to grow, you got to talk to smart people. It's just kind of how it goes. Well, people are smarter than you.
You got to invest in yourself, because if you don't invest, who is?
Right.
All right. So the topic tonight is why why cash? I can't even talk tonight. Why a business with recurring cash flow is so important.
And if any of you have questions on this topic, comments on this topic, or off topic, please comment in the chat, either on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're listening.
So Willie, let's break this down. What is cash flow? Why is it important? And what does it mean to have recurring cash flow? I think it makes sense for us to start from the very bottom here.
Yeah, so we have a printing press in our office that prints out cash every month. And that is what recurring cash flow is. You just got to buy paper, and then on the how many copies you put, like 500, and then it just prints money. And you
that
just do it once a month.
That reminded me of what that guy said on the phone today. We asked the guy, Willie asked, what can you build on the lot? And the guy said, you could build anything from a treehouse to the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, that was a good comment. I like that.
I like that. I think we should start using that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that comment. I haven't heard anything quite like that. But yeah, recurring revenue, I would say, why is it important?
Why don't we explain what recurring revenue is?
Sure. So recurring revenue is from the standpoint of land investing, it's when you sell property on terms, and you sell it, call it for maybe 50, 60 month period. And or it could be longer, it could be shorter. I'm just stating a random arbitrary amount of time. And so you get a buyer who is paying you, call it $250 per month, every month until the land is paid off. And so that cash flow that's coming in on that note is recurring revenue. And the more notes you build, the more properties you sell, that recurring revenue will continue to pay you month over month. And so that, and from our business standpoint, I mean, there's a million different business models. I mean, one that comes to mind is software, where they get you software as a service, where they get you to pay monthly subscription fees, Netflix, whatever. Those are different business models that you get one customer to pay you month over month. And in our business, it is very relevant for when you're trying to sell properties with owner financing on, and when you hold the note. So that is what it is. I don't know if you want to add anything on top of that.
I mean, I would just, simply add that when you can almost think about recurring revenue as almost like mailbox money. It's like, okay, you have a contract, for example, for your land, and you know that on the 5th or 1st or whatever on the month, you have money coming in, and it's recurring. So every month that money is coming in, and think of it like you get the check in the mail. So that's just quickly on like recurring revenue. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, like, how passive recurring revenue can be once you sell a lot of properties. And that's kind of what our business goals are. And what we've done is we're trying to build this giant snowball of recurring revenue that just keeps building and building and building.
Yeah. And so I would say for the average person who's looking to get started in land investing,
think about it. Like, you can do two deals, one deal, two deals, three deals a month. And that's an extra $300, $400, $500 of recurring revenue. So an extra $500 a month, which that's more than a car payment. Maybe it's rent. Willie, I don't know what you got going on over there.
Sorry, I'm looking for my phone so I can see the chat. But so what I would say is an average person, a typical person who joins the land flipping formula or looks to get started in land investing, their goal is to eventually quit their job and have a business that they can manage and work at full time. And when you're selling properties and you're just selling properties on a cash basis, one, you're limiting yourself to a specific market of buyers. And so, that in itself is going to make your sales more lumpy. But two, by selling properties on terms, like Paul mentioned, you're building up this recurring revenue. And the reason I personally think it's extremely helpful is because it gives you an assurance that you're going to get some reasonable payments every month. And so, if you do have bills and you do have expenses that you need to cover, as long as, if you work towards selling property on terms and doing so consistently and building up that note portfolio, you're going to have some sort of income that's like Paul mentioned, maybe it's your car payment, maybe it's your electric bill, maybe it's part of your monthly rent, or maybe it's all of your rent.
Student loan.
Student loans, whatever it is. If you have that recurring revenue, that's going to give you the security to say, even if I do have a bad month, or even if my sales are a little bit lumpy, I'm still able to cover my overhead. I'm still able to cover my daily expenses and not have to worry, so not have to stress. So in my opinion, the most important aspect of the recurring revenue is it allows the investor, the person who's looking to get involved in land investing, the ability to have some freedom and have some security and not have to stress about daily or monthly expenses. And knowing that that's covered really gives you the peace of mind. And if you have a peace of mind as a business owner, you could take additional risks. You could do things that you otherwise might not. And it's going to really, really help you grow your business, because if you're in a position where you're able to take risks because you're comfortable taking risks, that's really when you're going to take your business to the next level and do things you otherwise might not. Because if you didn't have that security that your car payment's going to be made, then you're certainly not going to be in a position of power when thinking about, should I buy all four of those properties rather than just buying one of them, because you don't need any cash. You have cash reserves and it's coming on a recurring basis. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to think about it. And we do have some comments coming in here. You said you can't see them?
I can't see anything, so please Let's get back to anyone who comments. Make sure we answer whatever they have to say.
Um, Here we go. If you are just starting out, what would you recommend? Moonclerk, GeekPay, Recurly, or something else? Eventually, I'd like to have a large book of seller finance notes. I think everyone would like to have a large book of seller finance notes. So we have our own software that we're using. It's none of these. It's like a custom thing that we had built. But when we started, we used Moonclerk, and we still use Moonclerk as our backup payment method. I have never used GeekPay or Recurly. I don't know, Will, you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I think getting just whatever the easiest method to get a credit card set up on your website, I think Moonclerk is probably the easiest way to do it. And I mean, there's probably other processors that you could use as well. So yeah, Moonclerk and Stripe is probably the easiest and most friendly to just, you can put a button on your website, have it direct to a URL, and that URL can be a Moonclerk link, and that's Moonclerk and Stripe, and that can certainly set you up for success. I know there's other processors out there, so just choose whatever's best for you. But getting that up on your website is gonna be a great way to build trust. And I mean, if you are trying to sell properties on notes, you absolutely, in my opinion, you're gonna need a recurring processor of some sort or recurring payment method, because it's gonna be so hard to manage if you got people sending you checks, tracking PayPal payments and other forms of payment. So I would say make sure you certainly do get a recurring payment plan set up so that you can use and just send links or have people check out directly on your website.
Yeah, I think you just said it best. So this next, who do we have over here? Sorry, this person says, what's the average monthly payment range? Let's see who said it. It's not showing their name. I lost Facebook. But anyways, while I'm looking that up, so monthly range, I think that the best way to, like, it shouldn't really be a range. It should more so be, it comes down to how were you able to source the deal, or like what price you source the deal at, and what you're comfortable with on your payback. So yeah, if you wanted every property to be the monthly payments of $100 a month, you're going to get a lot of sales, but you could be really hurting yourself if you haven't looked into, okay, did I buy the property? Like, how much did I buy the property for? So what you need to do is, before you buy any property, let's say you buy a property for $1,200 or for example's sake, $1,000. And you know that you can sell that property for $7,000 or whatever it may be. You just need to backtrack. And so for us, we're always shooting for 12 months or less on a payback. And so, you know, it's pretty simple math for that. And, you know, you gotta look at what is your monthly payback, or sorry, how long is your payback? 12 to 15 months is a good range to shoot for. And, you know, if you bought the property for too much, or you bought it for a higher price and it's going to sell for a higher price, but you want to get your money back in 12 to 15 months, then you need to get more of a down payment. So it really, the average payment ranges comes down to what did you buy the property for and how fast can you get your money back. That is the most important thing. And even when Willie and I started, that wasn't really something that we based everything upon. And as soon as we figured that out, and as soon as we changed our mindset towards that, everything, cash flow got better. Everything just improved once we changed our mindset as to how we should be buying and pricing properties. Willie, I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And I mean, if you don't know when you're getting your cash back, your system's probably a little bit broken. So I'd say keep making sure you have your thumb on that metric specifically on your terms business, because that's going to allow you to recycle cash. And I mean, if you're taking out debt on this business, that'll certainly help too. So just make sure you're paying attention to that metric.
Yep. So some more comments here. Hello. This hello is from.
Yeah, it looks like there's 14 comments. I can't see them.
Okay.
Well, I can only see 4 of them. So.
Oh, they're disappearing for me as well. I can't see the names. Hello from Oklahoma. Yep. So I'm not sure who said this either, and I'm sorry, guys. Next time, just click the link. There's a link at the top of the video that says to enable your name to be shown. You just click the StreamYard link. But this user says, there are 1,000 ways to structure your monthly payments. Like, as I talked about before, I base them off of returning my investment back to me ASAP. So that's pretty well said. Mike Novak, what up though? What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike? Always good to have you on the call.
Stripe Net. So we use Stripe as the end processor, and then we use intermediary. So our website is built off of WooCommerce, and it's all been custom built. So it's not really like we've spent a lot of like tens and tens of thousands of dollars on developing our website, and so we have like a custom thing. But Stripe, basically Stripe and Moonclerk or Stripe and GeekPay or whatever the heck you want to use. But basically Stripe's like the back end part of it.
Yeah, so I see the feed now. So it's Tracy Summerlin from Oklahoma. And yeah, so I see some comments here. I don't know if you saw Eric's comment. There are 100 ways to structure your monthly payment structure. I base mine off of returning my investment back to me ASAP. So that's exactly how we do it. And then I think we're a little bit caught up.
Yep. Jacob Lucas asked, what platform do you suggest building your site on? So Willie built his original website on Carrot. Ours is a custom build on WooCommerce. And we've had many iterations, but I think right now REI Conversion has a pretty solid product. They seem to, Jesse and them seem to be, they seem to be doing a lot of updating and keeping everything really up to date. Carrot's good too. It just seems REI is a little bit more up to date. I don't know. You have anything you want to add to that? I know you were a very long time Carrot customer.
Yeah, the thing I would say about Carrot is I know it captures leads, captures emails very well. I don't know how well REI Conversion does. I'm sure it does reasonably well, but I think that is the main function of a website. So whatever platform you choose, just make sure that it captures emails very well, because I mean, at least our strategy, and I mean, if you're planning to receive above average returns in this business, like you could post your properties on Facebook, Craigslist, Zillow, you'll do okay. If you have a website, you'll do well. If you have a website that captures emails and you have a buyer's list that you're constantly following up with and nurturing leads, you're going to do even better. So make sure whatever website you get, I'm sure Carrot and REI Conversion are both good options. Just make sure you get something that and start building your buyer's list, make that a focus for you.
Let's see. Mike, any advice on smaller infill? Sometimes hear things like too small for septic and is junk land. Every deal is different. I don't know. I would say smaller infills if they're next to houses. I think a good way. I actually had this conversation with Chris today when we had a lead come in, and he asked me like, "Oh, what about these little thin lots?" And so one of the things that I can tell you about smaller infill lots is every city and county has different restrictions as to what is buildable. So I'll give you a good example. We were looking at buying a property, and I called the seller because this was a much more expensive. I don't normally call sellers unless it's a very expensive property. This was a very expensive property, like over six figures. And so I called him and I said, okay, this is a great property. Like, why are you selling it? And he's like, to be honest with you, like, I don't think you should buy it from me because you can't do anything with it. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said the property was, I think, 1.5 acres. And he said, well, you can't, the county doesn't allow you to build on anything that's below 5.5 acres. And Willie was like, what the heck? Like he's like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I had the real estate agent do the due diligence and our team. And it was like a farm area. And they literally have a restriction where nothing can be built unless, this is obviously a very rare case. But what I'm getting at is, every county and city is different with their restrictions. And so some places you need to have a certain amount of square feet of space in order to build a lot. And some requires less, some require more. And so the easiest way for you to figure out, like, okay, is this lot even buildable, is look at the neighbors and see, okay, is the cut exactly the same? Is it a really small cut, but is there houses next to it? And are they building houses on cuts that are exactly the same? And if the cut is a lot smaller or looks different, and people are building on different shaped cuts, it's pretty safe to probably say that it's maybe not a buildable lot. And so I always like to look and see what are the neighbors doing, or what are the other neighboring parcels shaped like, and what is the smallest lot that I can find in the area that's being built on. And that's kind of a quick point of reference to be like, okay, this is a deal or not a deal. That's just one of the many ways you can look at it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart. I mean, yeah, it's neighborhood by neighborhood. I mean, the way you phrased it was 5 acres in the whole county, and obviously that is not the case.
I meant to say city.
It was just within a certain part of the city, so you got to do your diligence on certain neighborhoods. Awesome. Looks like we got some more questions.
Yeah.
At least I see on the feed. I don't know if you want to pull one up.
Yeah. Well, while we're on this topic, I guess. My situations is our lots are 90 wide, but septics need to be 50 from another property. So suppose you can't do anything unless you own 2 adjacent ones.
Septics need to be, yeah. So I guess it depends on what area.
Every area.
How big is this lot? How many square feet? We don't really buy anything that's less than 4,000 square feet. I don't know if it's anything smaller than that.
90 foot wide.
90 foot wide. 90 times 50. Okay. So it's like just under 5,000 square feet. It's a little bit small. It would depend on the price point, and I don't know. We'd have to take a look at the comps and stuff. It's definitely situation dependent, like you're saying.
Oops. Here's Jacob. How important is SEO? Is SEO in selling and buying properties? SEO is a long game. It's a very, very long game. It takes a long time. You got 6 to 12 months before you're going to see anything. I would say it's not that important in the beginning. The most important thing is, whether it be that you're doing paid advertising or just posting in Facebook Marketplace. I would say the number one thing that you can do is focus on, if you're not a marketing expert, if you don't want to go out and learn how to do online advertising, which I don't really suggest any of you guys go out and do, and I know there's other people in the land space teaching that, I would say it's 100% waste of your time. Your job is to build a land business and find a professional that knows how to do something like that, and outsource it to someone that's good. And I just see it so often when just doing things like focus on your land business, focus on making better property acquisitions than learning how to run online advertising. That's how Willie and I feel about that. Very strongly against trying to learn, try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, there's a lot of shiny objects that you can find along the way, and internet marketing is certainly one of them. But that's not the goal of this business.
Yeah, the goal is to become an expert in buying and selling land, and so
don't get caught up trying to run your own Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. It just doesn't make sense for you to start spending your time doing all those things when you should be focused on finding deals.
Like learn how to become an expert in your market and learn how to get a property at a better price, and then use the profits from that to go hire an expert that already does that for a living if you need more leads, or if you're not getting enough leads. But I don't know. I just don't. I'm very against something like that. Jim Spinoza says, at your scale, are you able to get debt financing from banks, or even with your revenue is traditional financing unavailable? Funny you asked that question. So I would say that this is a very, very complicated question. The problem with I guess the first thing is you need to, it's very hard to get lending from a bank because these are houses. Because they're not houses. This is land, and banks don't have really any interest in being stuck with the underlying asset should you default. And so traditional financing is usually, it doesn't really matter what your revenue is. It's not really available. It's really not.
Yeah, if you get a couple years of financials under your belt, then you're more likely to be able to get a loan from a community, smaller type bank. But even then, it's not going to be your normal route. You're going to have to look for private capital if you run out of cash and looking to continue to grow and scale.
Yeah, Mike, that's exactly what we're talking about. Keep mailing where you see the dots on Zillow, and you will be successful, no doubt. It cannot be summarized any better than that. I love that. That's amazing. Just keep going for the dots.
Look for the dots. Go to the markets where there's activity happening, and then target those areas. Ignore everywhere else, and you'll do well.
Yeah.
So wise words from Mike Novak.
Yeah. So yeah, I think not any more comments right now. What else? What else? How do you want to? What else you got, Willie?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I got an offer if we're ready for it, but I don't know if we're ready for it. I don't know if you got anything else you want to talk about. Any problems, personal problems you want to talk about?
We'll have to do a Wednesday call called Paul's Problems.
Okay. I think people would tune in.
You think?
I would tune in. Yeah, I guess that's a different time.
Yeah.
Any other deals you want to talk about? What else we got going on in our business?
We've been planning like a virtual event, but it's not really public yet. That's going to be.
Yeah, so we've got a few things in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And we mentioned our accelerator program for more individualized coaching. We've got a we've gotten a couple events coming up, and so we're not going to say too much more right now, but good things are brewing with us, and we're going to continue to provide value and hopefully provide a lot more value going forward, because we've got a lot more good things, a lot more good ideas.
Yeah. And if you are like in the land business, or you're starting in the land business and you need help to get to the next level, we, as of recently, Willie and I have made ourselves available for, individualized help, which we previously did not. So if you are interested in that, feel free to reach out to Willie or myself. And we can definitely talk about something like that. So Willie, I think everyone is ready. Robin is ready for a live event next year. So are we.
All right. There we go.
Maybe like a private island, or maybe we'll all come into Willie's apartment and take turns riding the Peloton and talk about land.
Yeah.
Definitely options.
That sounds fun. I just wrote it. I always ride. I actually ride it on Tuesdays. It's good.
So Willie, why don't you hit him with it?
Yeah, and one other thing I want to mention is that for our deal partnering students, I didn't mention this, but we and our accelerator students, we are opening up our inner circle call again. We had it for a little while, not very long at all, and it's pretty much Paul and I are going to be hosting meetings, just helping out anyone who's in our inner circle. Those will be twice a month, probably the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, something like that. And those are calls for us to really review anything and everything. And that's for our deal partnering students and our accelerator students. But in terms of what we have, the offer that we have today, if you're interested in getting started in the land business, have been thinking about buying our course, just haven't fully committed for whatever reason. And today I'm going to offer, if you purchase today, and so go to landinvestingpros.com and buy the course, and send me a screenshot at Willie, WILLIE, at landinvestingpros.com. And once I receive that screenshot, then that is proof. And so what I'm going to do for those people, I will review your first 5 deals, or any 5 deals that you want me to review, and give you feedback. Is this a good price? Should I buy this? Is this a good market? And just give you, how should I do my due diligence on this property? Make sure I don't screw it up. What price can I sell it for? What price that doesn't make sense to buy it for? So I'll give you feedback on any 5 properties that you want. It could be your first 5 properties, or whatever, just 5 properties that you're having difficulty valuing and determining whether or not you should pull the trigger and actually buy. I will personally help you with that. So send me a screenshot at Willie, WILLIE, at landinvestingpros.com. And that's the offer today. What do you think, Paul?
I think that's a pretty great offer, to be honest with you. I know it's not cheap to get one-on-one coaching, and especially the amount of deals that we look at in the last year. I think we've probably, how many thousands of deals do you think we've looked at, just properties?
I have no idea. I'd have to think about it. I mean, if you
plus properties that we've looked at in the last year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say at minimum 20 a day, but yeah, at minimum 20 a day.
I mean, but when we do like a tax auction, I'm looking at 500 properties in a day.
That's true. Yeah.
We do a couple here. I would say comfortably
50 a day, 300. Was that 15,000?
I would say comfortably 5,000 plus at a minimum.
Okay. I think it's pretty conservative.
So when you send us a property, we'll be able to help you. We can look at it.
We will be able to give you good feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback.
Yeah. So that is, hey, we got one vote for Florida. Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
Come to Florida. Okay. So I will be there. I'm leaving, driving over there starting Friday. I will be driving from Chicago to Fort Lauderdale. And Paul will be there as well. He's going to be out in Boca. And we're just going to be Florida people because I guess Friday restaurants get almost entirely shut down, it sounds like. And so
again on Friday.
Cold. Like Paul walked to work today and it was snowy and stuff. We just can't have that anymore. I've suffered through it for too many years.
Yeah, we're doing the snowbird thing. So. Yeah, thank you everyone, and we will see you same time, same place. Well, actually, Willie will be in a new place. I don't know.
I might be in a new place. I will be in a new place.
Yeah. Who said this? I think today is the day to sign up. I think you are right.
I think it's the day.
Jeffrey, yeah, Jeffrey. I had talked to Jeffrey previously. Jeffrey, I know you've been kind of waiting for things to line up, and I think today is the day. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. We have been messaging before, but yeah.
And you get feedback on 5 deals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the offer gets much better than that. Feedback on 5 deals. All right, guys. Next week, 6 p.m., Willie will be in Florida. I might be in Florida. And we'll see you again. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.